hit it.
You mentioned conservation. We have a
Yeah.
conservation arm of our organization called Gatorland Global, and we work with critically endangered crocodiles at various regions around the world. But locally, what we do to help alligators and crocodiles is we work with the local trappers on these nuisance alligators. So when an alligator, for not his own fault, is around a neighborhood, people start feeding him, becomes a danger to kids or pets and that sort of thing because he's being eaten. The state trappers will go in, remove that animal, and in most cases euthanize them. When we hear about a big alligator that is in a situation like that, we'll contact the trapper and we will pay the trapper to catch him alive and bring him into Gatorland. And we put him out here in our big ponds and they live out the rest of their lives right here at Gatorland. And we just love it. So they're called rescue gators. And we have a bunch of them around here. So some of them are out there. We got Bogey because he came from a golf course. We got one out here called Turnpike.
Highway, Turnpike.
Came from a turnpike.
You guys are creative.
Pond over there. Yes, we're not real creative on our names, but we love them. But we've given several dozen of these big alligators new homes instead of having them have to be euthanized, and that's part of what we're doing locally here to help these guys out. He's getting tired. I'm going to turn him back over to Brandon for a bit.
Yeah.
That
Maybe
sounds
it's
good.
lunchtime. It's lunchtime.
He might pierce my ear here in a second.
No, you know what? We always do. We talk about these big gators sometimes, and it's so sad because at the end of the story, well, it's like, oh, this happened, then the gator was euthanized, and it's like, I love that you guys reach out to those trappers and rescue those gators. I love that. I had no idea.
Oh, it's a great story. It's a great story. We had got one from the Villages who was very popular in the Villages a couple of years ago. His name is Larry. And people come out here all the time looking for Larry. They want to see him. He had such a following there. I think he even has his own Facebook page from over at the Villages. And but you're absolutely right, Ginger, to be able to save these animals that are destined to be euthanized, and not from any fault of their own. People start feeding them, which is against the law in Florida. Never feed a wild alligator. But then they lose their fear of man. They start associating humans with food, and that's where the train wreck occurs. And so we try to go out there, beat that, give that big alligator, get him in here into Gatorland. He's living out his life in alligator paradise with all the other alligators. And it's just a great conservation story that we're doing here locally to help alligators.